And we are back, everyone, back on YouTube. Live as live can be, and there you can hear in the distance my plane just taking off. Yes, I arrived here today by private jet, just like Prince Harry. So here we go then. It is a beautiful day. I can't begin to tell you how nice it is today. It is rather pleasant, in fact. Very mild, even though there is a slight chill in the air. So I think it would be fair to say that it feels very autumnal today, definitely. So here we are then for, what day is it today? Sunday, everybody. And it's a super duper day today. I'm really feeling rather happy, I must be honest with you. So here we go. Look at the view as well. So that is a live view now, looking across into the distance, and there is another live view as well. Now I'm not sure if we have live subtitles today. I think we do have live captions, but I'm not actually sure. So if we don't have captions, I do apologise. If we do have live captions, then I will be very, very pleased about it. But I'm not sure at the moment if we have live captions or not. I'm hoping that there are some live captions on the screen right now. If not, it isn't my fault. It's YouTube's fault, okay? So I hope we're all agreed on that. So hi everybody. Where is Mr. Duncan though, I hear you ask? Mr. Duncan is right here. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan, that's me by the way, in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling good on this Sunday? How has your Sunday been so far? Maybe you have just woken up. Maybe you are just opening your eyes on a new day. However, here in the UK it is now 6 minutes past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what time it is where you are, but right now it is 6 minutes after 2 o'clock. So here we go then, lots of people already on the live chat. Today we are talking about recycling. Do you ever recycle the things that you throw away? There are certain things that you can recycle, things that you can reuse, or of course reprocess. So quite often when we throw things away, or when we put things aside so they can be recycled, quite often they are reprocessed. So technically speaking, the things aren't used again, they are reprocessed. For example, plastic bottles will be reprocessed and turned into other plastic things. So do you ever recycle things? Recycling is very popular here in the UK. We like to recycle our paper, cardboard, and also plastic. So those are the main things that we tend to actually recycle here in the UK. So we'll be taking a look at that. Also metaphors. We'll be taking a look at one particular metaphor, a thing that can be used to express a deep meaning. That is a metaphor. That is how we use metaphors. So I hope you are feeling good. Of course, we can't have the live stream without the live chat. So let's have a look, shall we? Who is on the live chat today? Thank you for joining me. It's so good to see you here. And we have Martha in Poland. Hello, Martha. Guess what? You are first on the live chat, so you deserve a super duper round of applause. Congratulations, Martha. You are first on the live chat today. Madzia is here as well. Also Tomek, Hytham, Olivia. Hello, Olivia. I love your name. We have a very famous actress, a British actress called Olivia Colman, and she's been in many things. She was in a big movie, I think it was last year. She was in a movie all about, was it royalty? I know that she's going to play the Queen or the young Queen in Downton Abbey. Have you ever watched Downton Abbey? A lot of people think that everything in the UK is just like it is on Downton Abbey. Can I just say now, it isn't. It is not. Luis Mendez is here. Hi, Luis. Also, Blue Thunder. Hello, Blue Thunder. Nice to see you here as well. You weren't here yesterday, but now you are here to say hi. Belarusia is here as well. Please keep us up to date on how your mother is as well. We are all interested to find out how she is doing. Salma is here. Burku Belen says hello. Hello. I don't recognise your name. Is it your first time? If it is your first time here, please let me know. Ricardo. I love your name, by the way. There was a famous actor many years ago. Sadly, he's no longer around, but there was a very famous actor. I think he was Spanish. Maybe. His name was Ricardo Montalban. He had the most amazing voice. He really did. Also, we have Grace. Hello, Grace. Nice to see you here today. Oh, where has the light gone? The light has suddenly disappeared. Hello also to... Who else is here today? We also have Chris. Hello, Chris. Nice to see you here. Also, Guadalupe. Hello to all the classmates. Thank you very much for that. I am waiting for Mr. Duncan, says Olivia, who is watching in Myanmar. Hello to you as well. Lilia. Hello, Lilia. Lilia, oh Lilia, have you seen Lilia? Lilia the tattooed lady. I'm not sure if you have any tattoos, but there is a well-known song that was around many years ago, all about somebody called Lydia, not Lilia, but you can see what I did there. I changed the name so it would fit with the song. Palmyra is here as well. Svetlana, Blue Thunder again. Andrew, hello Andrew. Hello from the evil country, says Andrew. What do you mean, evil? I don't know what you mean by that. I think you are in... Where are you? Russia? Russia? Ukraine? That part of the world? What do you mean, evil? I don't understand what you mean by that. George says, hello, Mr. Duncan from Rio. Very nice part of the world. Anna is here. Also, we have Dowrat. Hello, Dowrat Pinter. I love your name, by the way. It's a very interesting name. Hello, once again to Burku, Anna. Hello, this is the Lego Boy in Australia. And that's it, really. That's the message. Sitala is here as well. Hi to you. Thanks for joining me yesterday, by the way. A lot of people have been taking part in a little survey. So I'm finding out at the moment whether or not you would like me to grow a beard next month. So there is a little poll taking place on my YouTube channel. Should I grow a beard in October? Because next month it is my 13th anniversary on YouTube. So I will be doing some special things next month. So should I grow a beard? So far, as you can see, 69% want me to grow a beard in October. And 31% don't want me to. I've actually had over 500, can you believe it? Over 500 responses to that survey. So thank you very much. And you can still vote if you want. If you still want to vote, you can still put your vote in. I will keep the vote open until the end of September. So you have many more days to vote on whether or not I should grow a beard. Hello, Chris. What a tranquil day. I love that word, by the way. If something is tranquil, it means it is peaceful, relaxed, calm. Something is tranquil. It is very still. It is. Mr. Steve was in a bad mood yesterday. We will be having a chat to Steve at around about 3 o'clock, and we will be finding out why Steve was angry yesterday. But there is a reason, and it was all because of a certain animal. So can you guess what animal made Mr. Steve very angry yesterday? I won't give you any clues, but we will talk about it later on. So there is one particular animal that yesterday made Steve very angry. And we will be asking him later what that animal was. Hello also to Eman. Hello Eman, watching in Egypt. Also we have Tomek. Hello Tomek, nice to see you here again. I hope that your Sunday is as lazy as mine. Well, I'll be honest with you. No, my Sunday has not been lazy because I got up this morning. Can I tell you, on a Sunday, do you know what time I wake up on a Sunday? I wake up at 7:30. So I start preparing this live stream at 7:30 in the morning. Because I have to set all of the equipment up. I have to prepare many things here in my little gazebo. And there are lots of things that I have to prepare. So I'm always busy on Sunday. So to answer your question, no, my Sunday hasn't been lazy. It certainly hasn't. Hello, Mohit. Where are you watching at the moment? Mohit Singhal. Hello to you. Connell is here. Also Massimo. Hello, Mr. Duncan. A big hello from sunny Tenerife. Oh, I think that might be my nephew. I think that's my nephew, Damien, saying hello. So a big hello to you, Damien. I hope you're having a super time. And that actually is my nephew. I'm not joking. So have a great time in Tenerife. I hope the sun is shining and you are having lots of lovely warm sunshine. Also advised says, hello Mr. Duncan, I'm happy to stay tuned with you today because it is my birthday and it is a beautiful gift. Advised. It is your birthday today. Okay, let's have some fireworks, shall we, to celebrate your birthday. Badoo! It's your birthday. Yes, today. It's your birthday. Hip, hip, hooray. So happy birthday to Advised L. I'm just wondering what your real name is. What is your real name? I know sometimes people are very shy and they don't want to give their real name out. But what is your real name? So I can wish you happy birthday for real. Tias is here. Mr. Duncan. Tias has done something very unusual today. Tias says, hi Mr. Duncan, today I gave some medical injections to goats. I'm really intrigued. Tell me more about your goats. I hope they're not sick. So I guess you are giving your goats vaccines. So I would imagine that you have to protect your livestock to make sure that they don't get any illnesses or diseases. So I think you must have been vaccinating some goats. Very interesting. Hello, Anna. Also, Kathy Cat. Hello, Kathy Cat. Nice to see you here. Luis Mendez says, well, Mr. Duncan, we have subtitles and also captions too. Great. I'm pleased to hear that because yesterday we didn't have any live captions, but it looks as if we have them today. So yeah, a big round of applause for the captions. Congratulations to the captions and well done for being here. Asea says hello from Saudi Arabia. Also Helen is here. Massimo is here. Also Palmyra. Wow, so many people on the live chat already. Thank you very much for joining me. I always feel very honoured when you join me on a Sunday, because I know a lot of people like to rest and relax on a Sunday. Good morning, Mr. Duncan from Aurora. Do you have any enemies? I don't understand that the live doesn't start yet, and already a rude person has given you a thumbs down. Well, this happens a lot in my life, to be honest with you. Sometimes, and this is just an observation from my life, sometimes if you are a happy person, if you always look on the bright side of things, if you often have a smile on your face, quite often you will annoy people. It's true. So it is strange that sometimes, and this has happened to me in my life many times, because sometimes I like to have fun, I like to smile, I like to sing and dance, I love doing these things, and sometimes it does piss people off. People get very annoyed, and I don't know why. So what I do is I become even more happy, and then they become even more annoyed. So that's what I do anyway. I love having fun. When I'm sitting on a Saturday afternoon in the copper kettle, having my Saturday lunch, I always like to have fun. I like to have a laugh and a sing. And sometimes the people eating around me look very annoyed. I don't think they like me being happy. Maybe I am disturbing them. Quang says, hello, I have joined you from Vietnam. It is now 8:20 at night in Vietnam. Hello, Sally. Sally. She's walking down the alley. She's off to the pub to get drunk. Hello also to Alamgir again. Hang Cry. Hello, Hang Cry. Watching in India. Great to see you here. It would appear that we have people watching from all around the world at this very moment. Hello also to Lilia again. It looks like autumn is beginning to happen. It looks a lot like autumn in Kiev. Many trees have already started shedding their leaves. So when a tree loses its leaves, we say that the tree will shed its leaves. So when something falls, when something drops from another thing, we can say that it sheds. So when the leaves on the trees start to fall, we can say that the leaves are shed. So it can be used as a verb. Here in Rome, it is still summer. Well, you are very lucky. At the moment here in the UK, autumn has arrived, even though it doesn't feel too bad today. It's actually quite pleasant, to be honest. Even though you might notice I'm wearing my long sleeve today. So I'm wearing a long sleeve. I love that word, sleeve. Mr. Duncan, I think Mr. Steve will hate the beard because it will make you look old. Thank you, Jeff, for that. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Mr. Steve might enjoy running his fingers through my beard. Some people think that beards are very sexy. I remember many years ago. Can I let you in on a secret? This is a secret just between you and me. Many years ago, I grew a beard, and Mr. Steve's mum became very enamoured with my appearance. I think Mr. Steve's mother actually fancied me with a beard. I'm not joking. I think so. But don't tell her. Don't tell her and don't tell Mr. Steve, okay? That's just our secret. Thank you to Maruz. Hello to you. Hello to my best teacher. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Don't forget, you can find me here every weekend. Saturday, 12 p.m. That is just after lunchtime. And on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. And hopefully there will be a new full English lesson on Wednesday as well. And you can get in touch with me as well if you want. You can follow me on Facebook. You can also email me. And if you would like to make a donation to allow my work to continue forever and ever and ever, there you can see the address for donations as well, because I do everything here for free. Everything I do it for you, for free. It doesn't cost a penny. So if you'd like to make a donation, I would be very, very happy. Lindomar says hello from Brazil. My name is Lindomar Tonin. Hello to you. Wyra is here. Jamelia. Hello, Jamelia. And thank you very much for your lovely sunflower. Where is your sunflower, Mr. Duncan? Sadly, I have some bad news. Some very sad news concerning the sunflower. Sadly, the sunflower has died. What else can you say, really? Alamgir is here. Addy. Hello, Addy. I am Addy from Dundee, and it is now raining in Scotland, I see. Hello, Ahmed, watching from Bolton. Hello. Hey up. Hey up in Bolton. Up north. Lindomar says, I need to practice conversation in English with people whose level is basic. Well, I'm sure there are many people around you who might want to learn English and practice their English with you. Hello to the Lego boy. Yes, Mr. Duncan, you must grow a beard, Mr. Duncan, as you will have a very different look. Well, at least the thing about having a beard, the thing about growing a beard is you can always reverse it. So if I grow a beard, I still have the luxury of being able to remove it. So fortunately, having a beard is not permanent. So I can get rid of it if I want to. Kari says, I can hear the birds, and I love it. That sounds like my neighbour going off on his motorbike. Yumika says, hello from Ukraine. My name is Oskana, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy that you're happy to be here as well. Martha is here. Also we have Anna Rita. Yes, the poll is still open if you'd like to vote. So there is a poll taking place. You might call it a referendum even. And no, it has nothing to do with Brexit. Nothing to do with it. So would you like me to grow a beard during October? Yes or no? And there you can see the poll is still open for business. So if you would like to make a vote, if you would like to cast your vote, you are more than welcome to do so. Hello once again to Lewis. Where is Pedro Belmont? I don't know. Pedro Belmont has disappeared. He has vanished into thin air. So I have no idea where Pedro Belmont is. He's vanished. Hello also to Svetlana again. It is so lovely to hear the birds singing. They've gone quiet. I think the birds might be a little bit shy. Hello also to Sweetness Mitra. Nice to see you here again, Mr. Duncan. Wow, there are so many people here on the live stream. I can't say hello to everyone. There are just too many people here. What was the thing that made Steve angry? Asks Guadalupe. Was it a worm? Was it a mole? Was it a raccoon? We don't have raccoons here. So actually we don't have raccoons in the UK. But yes, all of those animals can be a pain. But no, none of those animals made Steve angry yesterday. But there was one particular animal that made Steve furious yesterday. Can you guess what it was? Hernando is here. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Today I am having a rest with my wife. Hello to Hernando and your wife as well. Hi there. Hello. 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 Murat is here. Hello, Mr. Duncan from Istanbul. I have been to Turkey twice. I've been there twice. If I'm going to come to the UK, would you accept to meet it? Or meet me? I would like that. Sita Allah? I don't know. I don't normally meet people. I don't normally meet my viewers. It's only happened once in all of the years. So during the past 13 years of being on YouTube, I've only met one of my viewers ever. Hello also to Lilia again, talking about recycling, and that is something we are going to take a look at in a few moments. We are talking about recycling. Do you recycle your waste? Now, I know that there are certain things that you can't recycle, and there are many things that you can, such as plastic and cardboard, and I think glass as well. Can you recycle glass? I've never really thought about it, to be honest. What about tyres from cars? I think tyres are possibly one of the worst things to recycle. I think so. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I want to sing and dance with you. Thank you, Hankrai. You are welcome. We can have a little dance now if you want. Hello, Min. Hello, Yukmar. Hello also to Alvaized again. Ciao. My name is Lucas and I'm from Italy, and I thank you for the fantastic fireworks. Yes, so happy birthday for your special day today, Lucas. Hello also to Lilia. Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Nice to see you here as well. Typhoon 15 is approaching. It is on its way towards Tokyo. I am truly frightened. If I suddenly disappear, it means that maybe a blackout has happened. Oh dear. Well, take care, Kathy. So there is a typhoon approaching Japan. And did you see the terrible pictures from the Bahamas? Absolutely awful. Those terrible pictures where the hurricane hit some of the small Bahama islands, and terrible photographs and video footage coming out from the Bahamas. Absolutely awful. The weather is something that you can't argue with. You really can't. You can't argue with nature. If nature wants to do something, it will do it. It will. Naruto! Hello, Mr. Duncan, and everyone in the live chat. You look different today. Do I? Oh, how? How do I look different? It's still me. I'm still the same Mr. Duncan. The same annoying Mr. Duncan. Pedro is here. Pedro is here. Pedro is here. Let's have some fireworks and some applause as well because Pedro is here. Oh my goodness. Pedro. Pedro is here. Welcome, Pedro. We have missed you. Apparently, Pedro has been in prison. I have been in trouble with the police. I was arrested. I'm quite stunned by that news. What have you been doing? What have you been getting up to? Guadalupe, Mr. Duncan, I love your happiness. It is very contagious. And the thing I love most of all during your live stream in the garden is when you run around the garden. I'm not sure if I'm going to run around the garden today because I've had a very busy day, to be honest. Very busy. I understand how you feel. Sometimes I get rude people and they make rude comments whenever I make a positive, cheerful comment. Thank you, Chris. Sometimes people get very angry when they see a happy person. I don't know why. Maybe they feel bitter or angry or maybe a little disappointed with their own lives. I don't know. Chris says, Palmyra says, Pedro, are you joking with us? Have you really been arrested by the police? Really? Can you tell us about it? Or is it something that you want to keep to yourself? Wow, I can't believe it. Mika says, I want to say hello to you all because there is a typhoon coming and there has been very heavy rain and it is very windy at the moment. I will check the lesson later. Thank you, Mika. Yes, it looks as if there is a terrible typhoon heading towards Japan. So stay safe if you are watching in Japan. Close the windows, lock the doors, stay indoors and stay safe. Martha is here. Everyone wants to know what has happened. Everyone wants to know what's happened to Pedro. Apparently Pedro was arrested. I wish I was making a joke, but it's true. But now I'm free, and so there are no more troubles with the justice. So Pedro, what have you been doing? I've never been in trouble with the police. Not yet, anyway. Hello, Be Curious. Be Curious. Welcome to the live chat. We are going to take a break in a moment, and we are going to have a look at an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. And we are talking about recycling today. So I'm wondering whether or not you are a person who does recycling. I do some recycling. Would you like to have a look at what I do? Okay, let's do it right now. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm moving these empty plastic bottles to the recycling box at the back of my house. They will then be collected by the local recycling plant and taken to a place where they will be melted down and reused. To recycle is the process of reusing something over and over. These days recycling is carried out all around the world. Almost anything can be recycled. The most commonly recycled materials include water, paper and plastic. Many electrical devices can now be recycled too. Most metallic objects are also recyclable, from discarded cans right up to disused cars. Many things these days can be recycled. We often hear the word sustainable used when discussing recycling. This word refers to the action of maintaining a balance between the use and replacement of materials needed for the manufacturing of everyday items. Sustainable forests and sustainable oceans being the two most common places where things such as wood, gas and oil are found. So there it was, short and sweet, as they say. So a short excerpt from one of my full English lessons, and I hope you enjoyed that. And we are talking about recycling. So this is one item that I often recycle. Plastic bottles, you could see in the video then that is something that I recycle every week. We always have bottled water. I don't know why, but it's something that Steve likes. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I will drink water from the tap or from a bottle. However, Steve thinks that it's actually better to drink water from a bottle. So we get through a lot of bottled water every week. And what we tend to do afterwards is we keep the plastic bottles and we send them away for recycling every 2 weeks. Another thing that we sometimes recycle is cardboard as well. You can see here, this looks like one of my pizza boxes. I think it is. Let's have a look. Let's put the pieces together. There you can see. So this is some cardboard. This is a cardboard box that contained a pizza. And now you can see that the cardboard is ready for recycling. So we do have a very active recycling habit or scheme here in the UK. Many things are recycled, including plastic and cardboard, paper. I think glass bottles, things made of glass, I think they are also sent away for recycling as well. But what about you? Do you recycle things? What about in your country? Is there a big habit or a big move to encourage people to recycle things? It would appear to be something that many people are talking about these days. However, I remember growing up, a lot of people thought that if you were interested in the environment, then maybe you are a hippie or someone who is a little bit out of touch with society. So I remember growing up in the 70s and 80s, and people who were concerned with the environment were seen as a little odd or a little boring or dull. However, nowadays it is very trendy and very good to be interested in the environment. So it would appear that over the years attitudes have changed about that. Connell, what is the sustainable forest? If something is sustainable, it means you can keep it going. You can keep it going. It is continuous. So you can sustain something. You can keep it going. You can keep it active. You can keep it moving forward. You can keep it continuing, or you can help it to continue. It is sustainable. It can be supported, or it can support itself. So sustain something. We often talk about forests being sustainable. It means they can be kept alive, or they can be kept growing. Normally, if they chop trees down, quite often they will plant new trees. However, the problem with that is that trees take many, many years to grow. So it can be a pain. George. Hello, George Beat. Way to go, Mr. Duncan. You rock as always. Thank you very much. It's very nice to see so many people here today. And already, it is 2:45 already. I can't believe how fast today's live stream has gone. Look, it's 2:45 already. Goodness me. Mr. Steve will be with us soon. He will be talking to us about a particular animal that got him very angry yesterday. He was furious. I don't often see Mr. Steve lose his temper, But yesterday he was so angry. He was a very angry man yesterday. Let's have a look at the view. It is a beautiful day, and there you can see a live view looking over into the distance. And there is another view. Isn't that magnificent? It is looking lovely today. Looking away from my house into the distance, and you can see the beautiful Shropshire countryside looking very beautiful on this Sunday afternoon. I hope you're having a nice time. I have a few things to show you. First of all, last week's full English lesson is available on my YouTube channel. Now, I don't know why, but last week when I posted my full English lesson, it would appear that YouTube didn't inform my viewers. So I was a little bit annoyed about that, to be honest. I was slightly annoyed by that. So my full English lesson, last week's full English lesson, is available on my YouTube channel. Naughty YouTube. Naughty YouTube. Not telling my subscribers about my new videos. Someone mentioned the birds earlier on. Would you like to see some beautiful birds in my garden? Okay. So here you can see some birds. These are regular viewers, or should I say regular visitors to my garden. Can you see long-tailed tits? They are called long-tailed tits. And they are beautiful birds, very tiny. In fact, they are almost the smallest birds in the UK. And there you can see. They are so beautiful. I love their little faces. Aren't they cute? So there you can see some long-tailed tits feeding in the garden. Oh, they've gone. But will they come back? Come back, long-tailed tits. Don't be shy. We won't hurt you. Come on. Come on. That's it. They're back. So there you can see some beautiful long-tailed tits in my garden, and they are very regular visitors to my back garden. Would you like to see something else that I looked after this week? Look! On my window, I filmed this very interesting insect. Can you see it? It is a certain type of moth. It is a particular moth. But what is it called? This particular moth is called a red underwing. So there it is. I noticed it last week on my window, and I couldn't resist filming it with my mobile phone. So that particular moth is called a red underwing. So now you know. I'm always interested in nature. I don't know why. I love looking around at nature. I love watching the birds, listening to the sounds of nature. And last week there was actually a frog in my garden. I could hear this strange noise. Wah, wah, wah. That's what it sounded like. And it was actually a frog. There was a frog in the garden. Hello to Rakesh. Mr. Duncan, what is the most important thing in life? Is it money, family, or wife? I don't know really. Maybe for some people, money is important. But maybe to other people, family is important. So I think it's something we call subjective. So I think it depends on your own point of view or your own attitude. So some people think money is the most important thing. Other people think that family is the most important thing. So I think it depends really. It depends on your attitude. I think so. Tomek says the recycling scheme in the Netherlands makes you recycle most of the plastic bottles. There is a levy on a plastic bottle which you can reclaim when you return it to the store. That is a great idea. In fact, many years ago, they used to have that with glass bottles. So glass bottles, if you bought soft drinks or beer, and quite often they would come in glass bottles. They would charge you a little bit extra for the product, and that meant that you could take the bottles back and then they would give you some money. It wasn't much money. I think it was about 3p, 3 pennies for every bottle. Coam Fam says the background is so nice. Thank you very much. Mr. Steve has been very busy in the garden. In fact, he was out there. He was out there earlier doing some things in the garden just before I came on. Yes, Mr. Duncan, the priorities of each person's life can vary between one individual and another. I think that's right, yes. Thank you, Rose, for that. So some people have certain priorities, the things they feel are important. So maybe some people think that money is important. Other people think that family is important. From my own point of view, I think health is important. So I always put health very high up on my list. So I think health is more important than money. Because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, then you can't enjoy it. You can't enjoy the money. Lilia says, I feel that observing nature puts me in a very meditative mood. It takes my mind off things and helps me to focus better when I have to. I think so. I think going for a walk in the countryside, listening and looking at all the beautiful things around you can make you feel very nice. So the big question is, why was Pedro Belmont arrested? Can someone tell me? Why? Why were you arrested, Pedro? Were you a naughty boy? What were you doing? Helena is going now. I must leave now because I have to see my family. My family come first. Thank you very much for that. Don't you crush your bottles before throwing them away? Yes, I normally do. So, for example, you can see here I have a bottle in my hand. So I will crush this bottle. So I will crush the bottle right now. Did you see that? Look how strong I am. I crushed the bottle completely flat. So there it is. One bottle ready to be recycled sometime next week. Hello to Rakesh, who says money is not important in this life. If we have time and good behaviour with guys, I can't buy happiness and our love. Well, there are certain things that money cannot buy. And from my point of view, I think health is one of them. So money can buy many things. It can buy lots of lovely items, but money can't buy health. And some people say that money can't buy love. I think the Beatles once said that. Duong says, don't throw it away like that. Well, I'm not throwing it away like that. It's just behind me, you see, in my garden. So after the live stream has finished, I will pick it up and I will put it in the recycling box. Speaking of priorities, I think the first and foremost thing to discover if you want to live a happy life is what your priorities are. And then you must commit to following them consistently, all the time. So to do something consistently means not stop. You do something consistently without stopping or pausing. So yes, I think so. Priorities. When we talk about priorities, we talk about the most important things that relate to you and me. Hello to Tan Cal. Hello, Tan Cal. It's very nice to see you here. Where are you watching at the moment? I wonder. Where are you? Where are you watching? I feel as if I need to know. Chris says, in the Philippines, we recycle old tyres into flower pots and welcome mats and also placemats. So yes, I think car tyres are very hard to dispose of. If you burn them, they produce horrible smoke, terrible fumes. So yes, I think disposing of tyres is not very easy to do. Hello also to Addy. Hello Addy, where are you watching at the moment? I'm always interested to know where you are. I extremely agree with you, Mr. Duncan. Money can't give us the most important things such as family and health. Yes, money can buy you many things. Some people believe that money can buy you friends. But the problem is, if you lose the money, you might also lose your friends as well. They might all decide to leave you on your own because you have no money. Shall we have a look at another clip from one of my full English lessons? And this is a bit that I would like to show you because this is all about metaphors. A metaphor is something that you use to explain or express a certain thing. So we can use a metaphor to show the way something is or the way something makes you feel. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because I have a video to show you that explains all of it. It is possible to take very serious and deep topics and represent them with metaphors. To speak metaphorically is to represent something with an easily identifiable sentence or phrase. We can also use visual metaphors. It is possible to express the meaning of something visually. Here is a good example of a metaphor and an idiom. The trials and burdens that we have endured in life can be summed up with this visual metaphor. As we go through life, we often end up carrying or dragging lots of baggage. In this sense, the baggage consists of all the bad things that have happened to us. The traumatic events, the hardships, the failures, relationships that have left us scarred, the hurtful things that people have said to us, those terrible moments we would much rather forget. We often refer to these things as emotional baggage. The further through life you walk, then the more baggage you have to take with you. Of course, not all of us have to carry so much baggage. Dealing with each problem as it occurs can prevent you from having so much emotional baggage to carry with you. We tend to avoid having relationships with people who have lots of baggage. Having said that, it is impossible to go through life without acquiring some emotional baggage. Perhaps it is more about how you deal with it in the first place than what you end up having to carry with you. This particular visual metaphor is one that many of us can identify with. very deep, very meaningful. It is live English. Yes, that's what we're doing. It's live English. And hello. There is a robin just behind me, watching me. The robin is very interested in what is happening on my live stream. I think so. Hello to everyone who has joined me today. Isn't it a lovely day? I must be honest with you. The sun is out and everything is looking rather nice on this Sunday afternoon, and I hope it is where you are as well. Metaphors. We often use metaphors in life to express a feeling that we can't express in any other way. Hello also to Lewis once again. I'm wondering what has happened to Pedro. It would appear that Pedro wants to keep it a secret. He's not going to tell us, unfortunately. I'm very intrigued. I want to know more. Hello to Honajuinajok. Can you teach us to pronounce the AR sound? I'm not sure what you actually mean there. The AR. Oh, I see. I think that might be like phonetics. I think so. Well, it depends which word, because some sounds are used in certain words and some sounds are used in other words in a different way. So if you could give me a word to pronounce, that would be much easier for me. Hello, Lilia. If only we could claim that kind of airport. Or if only we could claim that kind of baggage in some kind of airport and then have it lost by an air company. Yes, as you go through life, things happen to you, good things and bad things. And as you go through life, you tend to carry these things with you. We call it baggage. So that is a metaphor. Do you like birds, Mr. Duncan? Yes, I love birds. I like them very much. I love all nature. However, Mr. Steve got very angry yesterday. I don't know where Mr. Steve is. He was supposed to come here at 3 o'clock, and now it's 2 minutes past 3, and he hasn't arrived. Hello. There is a robin sitting right next to me. Hello. Hello, Mr. Robin. I think the robin wants to say hello to you. Hello from Brazil, from Paulette. How are you? And Mr. Steve, I wish you a lovely and wonderful week. Thank you for teaching us and teaching us with love and dedication. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I love doing this. I really do. And it is a glorious day here in the UK, as you can see. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just to show how nice everything looks today, there is a live view looking into the distance. Very nice indeed. Thank you for joining me. Amtul says, have a great day, Mr. Duncan. I'm having a super duper day, I must admit. I love spending my weekends with you. Don't forget, I'm here on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday. No, we won't ask Pedro too many questions. I won't push Pedro into telling us why he was arrested. But he did tell us. We didn't force him to tell us. So he did tell us willingly that he was arrested. Palmyra says, are there any owls around by you? Well, at night, normally you can hear the owls making all sorts of noises. Some owls make a very nice sound. Some owls make horrible sounds. So some owls have a beautiful song, a beautiful sound when they call, and other owls sound horrible. They have a very horrible sound. So where is Mr. Steve? I think Steve has forgotten all about me. In fact, yesterday, Steve actually fell asleep. He fell asleep whilst watching my live stream. There is a small fly in your camera. Is there really? I think it's gone now. Thank you, Naruto. Naruto, where did your name come from? I love your name. It sounds like something from anime. Hello, Pedro. I said already. Oh, I see. Let's have a look. Apparently, Pedro has already told us what happened. I didn't see. Did anyone see Pedro tell us what he was doing? I didn't see. Maybe, Pedro, you can tell us again, because I think I missed it. I think maybe I missed it. Naruto says, there are some cultures whose people believe that if a person dies, or when they die, they turn into another animal, like a rat. Really? I think that happens in Buddhism. I think in Buddhism you have something called reincarnation. So reincarnation means that after you die, you come back as another thing. Sometimes a different animal, but also maybe a different person. So maybe you come back as someone else. Who would you like to come back as? I would like to come back as me. I would like to do it again and again and again, forever. Wouldn't that be nice? I didn't see it, actually. I didn't see what Pedro said there. I didn't see. So why was Pedro in trouble with the police? Palmyra says, you are a very talented imitator. I'm not sure about that. Thank you very much for your lovely messages. I don't know where Steve is. Steve should be here now, you see. He should be here, but he's not. I don't know why. I don't know where he's gone. I really don't. Would you like to have a look at some lovely views? Now, I went out for a lovely walk yesterday, and during the walk, I took some lovely shots on my mobile phone. So these particular pictures you can see now were actually filmed yesterday during my lovely walk. I went into town with Mr. Steve yesterday, and we had a delicious meal. And on the way, I stopped and I filmed some of the lovely fields. You can see there are lots of hay bales of hay. And these will be used during the winter months to feed the animals. So during the winter months, there is normally very little food around in the fields, especially when it snows. So quite often they will gather lots of hay, and then during the winter they will feed this to the animals. It comes in very useful during those winter months. Because now we are in autumn. Can you believe it? It is now autumn. Oh, where has the year gone? It's gone by so fast. Don't you think so? Apparently, Pedro has had a problem with his stepfather. Okay, then. I think this is a bit personal, though. I don't think we'll talk about this anymore, because I think it's a very personal thing. I don't think we want to talk about that too much. What an amazing view. Thank you, Belarusia. Yes, I had a lovely time yesterday. I couldn't resist getting my mobile phone out and doing some filming, even though Steve was a little bit annoyed by it. Hello also to Palmyra. Palmyra is here as well. Hello, Louis. Yes, I think Pedro has had some family problems, but I don't think we should be talking about it here, really. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel right. Hello, Julie. Julie G. Hello to you again. Also, Addy is here as well. I think the animal that upset Mr. Steve is a mule. Really? Okay, then. Fair enough. Mr. Duncan, have you ever experienced cultural shock. Well, I suppose the biggest cultural shock to me was when I went to live in China. So when I first moved to China, I found it very hard to get used to some of the things. Not everything. Many of the things in China are very similar to here. So certain things I found very hard to get used to. One of the biggest problems was if you went to a shop, if you went somewhere and you had to stand in a queue, people would always push in front of you. They would always go in front of you. So that is one thing I noticed. I noticed in China that people in China do not like queuing. They don't like waiting in a line. They really don't. So when I first went to China, I did experience a few cultural shocks, things that were different from life here in the UK. But I think this always happens, though. When you travel to another country, you might find sometimes that things are slightly different. I think so. So I think it happens. Your view is amazing. Yes, I had a lovely time yesterday walking through the fields, looking at all of the beautiful sights. And in the distance, I think there is another. Here, let's have a look. Here is another one, look, from 2 days ago. So this is 2 days ago when I went out walking. And you can see in the distance, you can see the fields which have been harvested. And you can see many of the trees and the grass. Everything still looks very green, even though autumn has now arrived very, very late in the year. So some people are actually about to have spring and summer, whereas here in the UK, we are about to have autumn. Autumn is about to arrive. It doesn't look like Mr. Steve is going to come today. It doesn't look like he's going to be here. And I had so many lovely things prepared for Steve, and he hasn't arrived. I don't know where he's gone. I have a feeling that Steve has fallen asleep. Or maybe he's watching the news, because I don't know about you, but Steve is a little bit addicted to watching the news. He likes to watch the news, especially when they're talking about Brexit. This is something that many people at the moment in the UK are talking about. Mahmood says, I am enjoying listening to your pure English. Thank you very much. Look at Mr. Duncan's Facebook account. Mr. Steve has an unlocked mouth. I think it's the opposite. Oh, I remember now. He was taping his mouth. He was taping it, yes. Oh, here he is. I think Mr. Steve is coming now. There he is. It's Mr. Steve. Oh dear. Oh dear. Wait a minute. Mr. Steve is coming. Steady. Steady everyone. Mr. Steve is on his way.
Hello, Mr. Duncan.
Hello, Mr. Steve.
And hello, viewers.
It's Steve. I wondered where you were. It's 3:15.
I fell asleep.
What I knew it. That's what I said. I said, didn't I? I said that Mr. Steve is either asleep or he's watching the news, because he's obsessed with Brexit, aren't you?
Obsessed and getting very stressed about it, as are we all in the UK.
Now, I have something that I want to talk about, because I mentioned this earlier to my lovely viewers. Yesterday, you got very angry.
Oh, yes, I did, Mr. Duncan. I got very angry. Very angry. I thought I was going to have a seizure.
Yes.
I wanted to strangle and shoot.
Yes, don't say, because we're actually asking people to guess what it was that made you angry yesterday. A certain animal made Steve.
I can hear them. I can hear them. Oh,
Wait there. Wait there. Here is a clue. Here is a clue.
Where's my gun, Mr. Duncan? Where's my gun?
All right, you don't have to keep shouting. Please stop shouting.
I spent, as the viewers will well know, last week I came with a can of special paint that I've been repairing the roof over your studio because there were a few cracks in the felt.
Okay, Steve has been busy repairing the roof.
Yeah, so I thought, well, I'll put a second coat on just to be doubly sure that there won't be any drips on Mr. Duncan's head while he's editing one of his videos.
So yesterday, Mr. Steve went on the roof and he decided to put some more of this special paint on the roof. However, when you got up on the roof, you
Yes.
noticed...
Yes.
Oh, can I just finish what I'm saying?
Mad.
You noticed something had happened. Now, we have some guesses. Was it owls?
No.
No, not owls.
Right species.
Was it rats?
No.
No rats. No, it wasn't rats, even though rats can be annoying. Mr. Steve has such a pleasant voice. He reminds me of an actor. Isn't that nice? Is it because of Brexit? Were you angry because of Brexit?
I think I was primed. My anger was primed because of Brexit, because what's been going on, we won't go into it because...
Steve has been like a coiled spring all week.
Coiled spring, there's a good explanation, Mr. Duncan. Just waiting to spring.
And yesterday, something made Mr. Steve explode with rage.
Snapped.
It's true.
If you snap, it means you suddenly lose your temper. All this has been building up all week because of this Brexit nonsense. And I went up, I thought, I'll just put a second coat on. What did I discover? Because there are railings above Mr. Duncan's flat roof over his studio.
Okay, we're not saying anything yet.
Aren't we?
We're going to get some guesses.
Talk about a build-up.
So what was it? What was it that made Mr. Steve angry yesterday? Can you guess which animal it was? I will show you in a moment.
Rakesh says that they have a pistol and they can leave it with me. Yes.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure if we should start shooting the wildlife. I think we might get complaints.
Are we worried about Brexit? Says Anna. Well, Mr. Duncan isn't, but
Well, you're not.
well, I'm not worried about it. I'm just furious about all this nonsense that's going on.
Anyway.
But anyway, we all are.
Anyway, cut that out. So what made Steve angry? A certain animal. Was it a raven? It wasn't a raven. No ravens.
It did have wings, though.
Yes. Oh, yes. So there is a clue. It had wings.
It wasn't an angel.
It wasn't an angel.
We don't get them around here.
Yes.
Well, apart from me, of course.
I think you're more like a fallen angel.
I'm annoyed by a man called BJ. That is correct. Yes. Yes.
I wonder what you're going to say then.
Yes, I am very annoyed by that man. I wish he would disappear without trace.
I've never been
and
annoyed
never
by...
be seen again.
I've never been annoyed by a BJ. I think it is a dog, says Tan. Well, that is true, because dogs can be very annoying, especially when they start barking.
Pedro's talking about the flags of the world, which we know that he loved and is still remembering that.
There are no flags of the world today. I'm sorry about that.
He said he liked it when I would start the live stream by visiting different places, and then we would give a little précis, a little summary or tidbits about that particular country. I thought that was a good feature as well, Pedro, but Mr. Duncan decided, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Did you just say précis?
Yes. Isn't that like a summary, a sort of, a gentle little introduction?
Yes.
Without too much information.
That's it. A brief explanation. So, what was the animal? I will give you a clue. I will do an impression of the animal. So
He's very good at this. Be careful, Mr. Duncan, because you know what I wanted to do to those creatures yesterday. Anyway, to cut a long story short, or can we? Or do you want me to wait until somebody guesses correctly?
I don't think anyone's going to guess.
They're grey,
Here we go.
and they eat anything.
It's one of these.
It's one of those.
It's a pigeon. So what had the pigeons done? Do you want to attack that? Oh, there's two there. There's another picture behind it.
I'm going to destroy that. Just an image of it.
So yesterday, Steve got really angry because the pigeons had decided to do big poos. So they had pooped.
They defecated
They had pooped.
or
all,
defecated
all right. They had pooped.
all over the lovely smooth paint that I'd put on Mr. Duncan's cracks above his roof, on his roof, and I had to spend ages trying to clear it off. And there was so much of it, it ruined all the hard work that I'd done last week, because you can't paint on top of pigeon poo.
Here comes a pigeon.
Set like concrete.
Here comes a pigeon. I think
I'm going to get an air rifle, Mr. Duncan, and we're going to reduce the surplus population of pigeons
I don't think-
in this area.
I really don't think that's a good idea.
Well, we could sit on these high roofs that we have and just shoot anything in sight.
These
I mean,
hi-
pigeons, not humans, obviously. We don't want the police coming up here, do we? Well, we might mistake. Someone could be in a pigeon outfit walking around.
Sorry, you do realise firing any weapon into the sky is probably illegal in this country anyway. Where do you think you are? Texas?
I think it's all right with an air rifle. They've only got a limited range. I can test it out on you.
Yeah. So apparently, I'm not going to say too much, but apparently, Pedro hasn't been here for the past couple of weeks, and apparently the reason was he got in trouble with the police.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. We're not going to mention it again, but that's the reason why. Because we were both very concerned.
We were.
We were wondering where Pedro was.
Was it a crime of passion?
Jamelia says, I hate it when the pigeons do poos.
They're disgusting. We're
On
going to
my-
get spikes, aren't we, to put all over the railing so that they can't above your flat roof pooing onto my hard work.
So
I was furious.
Jamelia does not like it when the birds do their big poos. So there are things you can do, though, to keep the pigeons away. You can get some special things that look like spikes, and they stick up, and then it stops the pigeons from landing.
Easier just to eliminate them, if you know what I mean.
Here comes another pigeon.
Got it!
That's what Steve wants to do.
Turn it into a pigeon pie and eat it later.
That is not a good thing to do, by the way. Please don't shoot the animals.
Look at what the roofing task has done to these lovely gloves. Look,
Oh my God!
it's ruined.
Hold it up then.
It's ruined the gloves. Do you remember these last week? They were making.
You can't see it. You can't see it, Steve. There you go. That's what you
Well, I
do.
wouldn't handle it if I were you, Mr.
Look at
Duncan.
that. So these are Steve's gloves.
They're covered in sticky goo.
Sticky goo.
That's what's gone on to the roof to fill in the cracks on Mr. Duncan's roof.
Isn't that awful?
But I can't clear that out. And
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
I'm getting a high on the fumes.
I bet you are.
Yes, look what else happened. Something broke this week, Mr. Duncan.
Was it your sanity?
Look. These are my ear defenders,
Okay.
you know. And I put these on when I'm around the house so that I can't hear Mr. Duncan talking.
They're broken.
And they're broken. They've had to endure such hard work trying to keep Mr. Duncan's voice from coming near my ears. It's melted the plastic and they're broken. No, I use them when I'm mowing the lawn to defend my ears against the over-the-top sound wave. Oh, Mr. Duncan.
What, are you okay?
It's the fumes from the paint.
I think Steve is high on the fumes.
Yes, that's the only good
You
thing
know,
about it.
I whenever I see a pair of headphones, I always want to do what they do, or what they used to do in the 1980s. Do you remember in the 1980s when pop singers were pretending to sing, and they'd always put the headphones on like this,
Oh, yes.
or they would just have one by their ear like this. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? I'm pretending to sing this song. There you go.
Well, I've got to get a new pair. I can't do the lawns until I've done that because I don't want to be deaf when I get older, Mr. Duncan. You know what I'm like with preventative health measures.
I think you're deaf already.
Your ears are like bionic ears, aren't they, Mr. Duncan? Hello, Mr. Wasp. Or
I have-
Mrs. Wasp.
I have very good hearing. My hearing is amazing. I can be in a room with 3 or 4 people around me having conversations, and I can hear all of their conversations.
You can.
Even if the person is in another room, I can still hear them. So my hearing is very good. I have a very keen.
Acute hearing.
I have acute hearing.
Acute, that means very good.
But then everything about me is acute.
You're very angular, if that's what you mean. What comments are people making on the live chat about me?
Not, well, after pretending to shoot the pigeon, maybe nothing good.
Lilia says,
Personally,
I'll be reading each word separately.
I think pigeons are lovely. I love feeding pigeons in winter. Quite a few people love the tits and the robins. But who is going to care for the pigeons?
Well, Lilia, the pigeons are very capable of looking after themselves.
But I think the final point is they do poo, but so do we.
Yes, but not on my roof.
Yes, but I don't take a poo on the next door neighbour's car. Well, not yet anyway.
Paintwork.
Not yet anyway.
Yes. Well, never mind. There we go. Well, I mean, the thing is, I'll get over it. I'm sort of joking.
I think
because
you
we've
will.
got a pair of love pigeons, haven't we, in the garden?
We have lots of pigeons nesting in the garden.
And they're being all very affectionate. And I wouldn't like to kill one of them, and then it would mean that the other one would be left alone, bereft.
Or even worse, you might have a pigeon orphan. There'll be a little pigeon on its own, and it'll be asking, "Where is my mum and dad? Where are they?" And I will have to say, "I'm sorry, Mr. Steve shot them because they were having poos
I think
on his fresh paint."
pigeons are probably, I would think that if we had a nuclear war, pigeons would survive.
Yeah.
Because they can eat anything. They doesn't matter what's around, they'll eat it. Whereas other birds are much more specialist in what they can eat. And pigeons, I think, would survive anything.
Yes.
They're not very good parents, though, are they? They just sort of put this makeshift nest together with a few twigs,
Okay.
and just let the offspring get on with it. It's
Yeah.
quite strange. They're not very attentive parents, are they?
But that's what all birds do. Once the bird flies away, the parents won't take care of them for very long. They will feed them for a couple of days, but then they're on their own. And I think this is a great example that we should take. So when you get to a certain age, I think the parents should force you out into society so you can get used to everything that goes on, because life is quite hard. I know that we make it look very easy. If you watch us, you might think that life is just a big bowl of strawberries, but sometimes it isn't. Is that right?
Yes, what you don't see is the heartache, the toil, the struggle that we have to endure on a daily basis. When we're here,
Tomek asks, are you allowed to buy an air rifle or do you need a license? Well, first of all guns, all of them, are banned. So you can't buy guns.
You can buy an air rifle,
But-
Mr. Duncan.
But, yes, I know. That's where I was getting
Well, that's
to.
a gun.
When I say guns, I mean high-powered guns. So not like in the United States where you can just go into a Walmart and buy a gun. So here, the gun laws are very strict, so you can't just buy a gun from anywhere. However, and this is the bit I was going to mention, however, you can buy air rifles, so small gauge guns.
125, 22.
So small gauge guns. But you can't buy sort of shotguns or handguns. So, however, if you are a farmer, you can buy a shotgun to keep the rabbits and
Pigeons.
the pigeons and the trespassers, like me, sometimes when I trespass onto other people's land.
Yes, well, I have used an air rifle because my dad had one when we were growing up. So we used to practice with targets in the garden with an air rifle. It was quite good fun. I used to quite enjoy it.
Have you ever fired a shotgun?
Yes, once.
Me too. One of my friends bought a shotgun. He came round to my house one day and he said, I've just bought this. And he had a shotgun. And so we went off somewhere and we were firing this shotgun. But all I can say is you have to be quite strong to fire a shotgun because it gives you quite a jolt.
Quite a recoil.
Quite a recoil or kickback. So when you fire a shotgun, it really does knock you over. It's terrible.
You've got to be quite strong. I didn't like it. It was too noisy. I definitely need a pair of these.
Yes.
I've got to get a new pair. So I think, shall I disappear, Mr. Duncan, and let you disappear, and I shall go on to Amazon, my default shopping place.
Poor Steve. He's broken his ear defenders.
And get a new pair because I need to wear them around the house especially.
Okay.
To defend my ears against Mr. Duncan's
All right, Steve.
incessant nagging.
Okay, Steve, that's it. We've had enough.
Pardon? Can't hear a word. It's bliss. Bliss. Right.
I wish I couldn't.
Bye-bye, everybody, and maybe see you next week.
Okay, then.
Yes.
Well, you're not here on Saturday because Steve is going to see his mummy next Saturday.
Shall need a pair of these again.
Yes.
Right, no, I'm only joking.
Okay.
Ta-ta for now.
Okay, I will use the force to force Steve away. Okay, that's Steve. For those who are missing Steve, he is here right now.
What I found, Mr. Duncan, I'm back. Look what I found on the ground.
Okay, what is it?
It's a feather.
Oh,
Guess where it's full of fleas, Mr. Duncan. Don't
I thought it was your pen. I thought this is what Steve uses to write his love letters to Shirley Bassey. Okay, there we go. You can take your feather with you.
It's a pigeon feather. That's what I'm going to do to its neck when I see it. Bye-bye.
A very violent Mr. Steve today. I don't often see Steve in such a violent way. Or behaving so violently. Oh. Steve is in a hurry. So that is the animal that was making Steve very angry yesterday. Mr. Steve does not like pigeons because they kept doing big poos on his beautiful new paintwork. Thank you very much, Amtul. Thank you, Blue Thunder. Thank you, Jamelia. We are going away soon, so I will be going. Steve has already gone. My plane has arrived. Can you hear my plane? It's just arrived to take me away. He will be landing in the field around the corner. Mr. Duncan, maybe your video lessons and your attitude towards nature prevented Steve from committing a murder. Thank you, Valentin. Yes, I've never seen Steve so angry. He was so furious yesterday about the pigeons because they were pooping. They were doing big poos everywhere. Thank you very much for your company today. I am going now, by the way. I have to leave you. I have to say goodbye. It's just after 3:30 in the UK. Thank you very much also to Rakesh. Thank you to Anne Tin. Thank you also to Blue Thunder. And also thank you to Tias. A lot of people joining us today. Thank you very much for your lovely company. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much also to PSOZ watching in Brazil. So yes, the gun laws here in the UK are actually quite strict. So you can't just go into a shop and buy a gun. You can buy an air rifle, or as they call them in the United States, BB guns. So something that fires a very small pellet. And quite honestly, you can't do much damage with a small air rifle. However, it can hurt. It can hurt. Thank you very much to Martha, Belarusia, Francesco, Addy. Thank you, Curry. Thank you for your company today on this glorious Sunday afternoon in England. And I hope the rest of your weekend will be lovely and nice and peaceful. Tonight we are having some beautiful salmon. Steve bought some salmon on Friday. Some beautiful fresh salmon. and that's what we're having later on. In a moment, we will have a cup of tea and a tea cake. This is Mr. Duncan saying thanks for watching. I am back, of course, next week, Saturday, 12 p.m, just after midday, and also Sunday, 2 p.m, and hopefully there will be a full English lesson on Wednesday if the weather is good. At the moment, it looks like the weather isn't going to be very good. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, you can email me, and yes, look, you can also make a donation to PayPal if you would like to help my work continue forever and ever and ever. You can make a donation to this address, small or large. You are more than welcome to do so. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying have a great day, enjoy your time, and I will see you next weekend. And of course, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Until next weekend. Ta-ta for now.